Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see biodiversity and conservation. Let's see the levels of biological diversity and biogeographic classification of India. Introduction. Biodiversity refers to the variety and variability among all groups of living organisms and the ecosystem complexes in which they occur. Biodiversity constitutes the biological wealth. Levels of biological diversity. Biodiversity is at three levels: genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecosystem diversity. In genetic diversity, a single species might show high diversity at the genetic level. For example, India has more than 50,000 genetically different strains of rice and 1,000 varieties of mango. Species diversity. It represents the diversity at the species level. For example, the Western Ghats have a greater amphibian species diversity than the Eastern Ghats. Ecological diversity. At the ecosystem level, India has a greater ecosystem diversity than a country like Norway. It has a variety of ecosystems such as deserts, rainforest, mangroves, coral reefs, wetlands, meadows, etc. Biogeographic classification of India. India is a country of vast biodiversity. It is divided into different regions based on the geography, climate, and pattern of vegetation seen. Each of these regions contains a variety of ecosystems such as forest, grasslands, lakes, rivers, wetlands, mountains, and hills, which have specific plant and animal species. Biogeographic classification of India is the division of India according to biogeographic characteristics. Biogeography is the study of the distribution of species, organisms, and ecosystem in geographic space and through geological time. There are 10 biogeographic zones in India, such as Trans-Himalayan Zone, Himalayan Zone, Desert Zone, etc. Let's see the zones one by one. First one is Trans-Himalayan Zone. The Himalayan ranges immediately north of the Great Himalayan Range are called the Trans-Himalayas. The Trans-Himalayan region, with its sparse vegetation, has the richest wild sheep and goat community in the world. The snow leopards and black-necked cranes are found here. Himalayan Zone. The Himalayas consist of the youngest and loftiest mountain chains in the world. Himalayas have attained a unique personality owing to their high altitude, steep gradient, and rich temperate flora. The forests are very dense with extensive growth of grass and evergreen tall trees. Oak, chestnut, conifer, pine, deodar are abundant in Himalayas. There is no vegetation above the snow line. Several interesting animals such as wild sheep, mountain goats, pandas, and snow leopards are found in Himalayan ranges. Next is semi-arid areas. Adjoining the desert are the semi-arid areas, a transitional zone between the desert and the denser forest of the Western Ghats. The natural vegetation is thorn forest. This region is characterized by discontinuous vegetation cover. Thorny shrubs, grasses, and some bamboos are present in some regions. Birds, jackals, leopards, eagles, snakes, fox, buffaloes are found in this region. Western Ghats. The mountains along the western coast of peninsular India are the Western Ghats, which constitute one of the unique biological regions of the world. The varied climate and diverse topography create a wide array of habitats that support unique sets of plant and animal species. Apart from biological diversity, the region boasts of high levels of cultural diversity as many indigenous people inhabit its forest. Western Ghats are among the 25 biodiversity hotspots recognized globally. The region also shares several plant species with Sri Lanka. The higher altitude forest was sparsely populated with tribal people. Here, the cultivations include rice, arecanut, and pepper, and plantations include rubber, tea, coffee, and forestry. Next comes the desert zone. This region consists of parts of Rajasthan, Kutch, Delhi, and parts of Gujarat. The climate is characterized by very hot and dry summer and cold winter. The plants are mostly xerophytic, that is, those plants can survive with little water. Camels, wild asses, foxes, and snakes are found in hot and arid deserts. Deccan Plateau Zone. Beyond the Ghats is Deccan Plateau, a semi-arid region lying in the rain shadow of the Western Ghats. This is the largest unit of the Peninsula Plateau of India. The highlands of the plateau are covered with different types of forest, which provide a large variety of forest products. Animudi is the highest peak of this region. The Deccan Plateau is surrounded by the Western and the Eastern Ghats. These Ghats meet each other at the Nilgiri Hills. The Western Ghats include Sahyadri, Nilgiris, Anamalai, and Kadavam Hills. Many rivers such as Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri originates from Western Ghats and flow towards the east. Eastern Ghats are broken into small hill ranges by river coming from the Western Ghats. Most of these rivers fall into the Bay of Bengal. Godavari is the longest river in Deccan Plateau. Narmada and Tapi flow westwards and flow into the Arabian Sea. Let's see Gangetic Plain Zone. In the north is the Gangetic Plain extending up to the Himalayan foothills. This is the largest unit of the Great Plain of India. Ganga is the main river after whose name this plain is named. The trees belonging to these plains are teak, sal, shisham, mahua, khair, etc. Northeast India. Northeast India is one of the richest flora regions in the country. It has several species of orchids, bamboos, ferns, and other plants. Here, the wild relatives of cultivated plants such as banana, mango, citrus, and pepper can be grown. Islands. The two groups of islands, that is, Arabian Sea Islands and Bay Islands, differ significantly in origin and physical characteristics. The island forests of Lakshadweep in the Arabian Sea have some of the best preserved evergreen forests of India. Some of the islands are fringed with coral reefs. Many of them are covered with thick forest and some are highly dissected. Coastal zone. The Indian coasts vary in their characteristics and structures. The west coast is narrow except around the Gulf of Cambay and the Gulf of Kutch. However, it is wider along the South Sahyadri. The backwaters are the characteristic features of the coast. Extensive deltas are found in Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. Mangrove vegetation is the main feature of this coast. Larger parts of the coastal plains are covered by fertile soils on which different crops are grown. Rice is the main crop of these areas. Coconut trees grow all along the coast. With this, we come to the end of this video. Thank you.